guys, my name's Chris, and I'm sure we've all had experiences with deja vu at some point in our lives. This is where either while you're doing it or after you've done it, you can remember doing the exact same thing in the exact same place, time, and order to the specific detail, like it's an exact repeat of a previous event. Now, this is usually attributed to misfiring in the brain's short-term memory centers. Now, what about alter vu? Alter vu is something different. That's when someone is remembering something differently from the way that the event actually occurred. Right now, people all over the world are remembering things differently. They're remembering things in vivid ways that contradicts all physical proof to the contrary. This could be anything from major historical events to the naming of beloved children's books. It's a way of describing something that's become known as the Mandela effect. The Mandela effect was named in 2010 by a woman named Fiona Broome due to the widespread memory of Nelson Mandela passing away in prison in the 1980s. Now, these are people that remember this because either they were there and they saw it on a newscast, or they read it in the history books growing up as children. But of course, we know Nelson Mandela only recently passed away in 2013, so why are these memories there and why are they so far spread? The Mandela effect is a theory of divergent timelines in which an event in the past is changed, causing a divergent time stream which we presently live in. The only evidence to this would be the memories that were formed before the change that people have now of the pre-existing timeline. This originates with the many world theories of quantum mechanics, which was proposed by Bryce DeWitt in the 60s and 70s and built in the relative state formulation before that by Hugh Everett. What the many world theory does is it asserts that all possible alternate histories and futures are real. Now, this means that anything that could have or would have happened based on choices that we make actually goes on to unfold and affect the world in a different way in another universe. Now, if one or two people are remembering something differently than the way it actually happens, maybe you don't have much. But when people all over the world are remembering the exact same inconsistency in the same way, then maybe there's something more to it. Now, I can think of a few examples that are of a little bit less significant than the death of a major historical figure. One of which would be the Berenstain Bears. You remember those books? When I was a kid, my grandparents always used to read the Berenstain Bears to me before I went to sleep, and I was a very visual learner. I remember looking at those words and seeing Berenstain. But apparently, according to all physical proof, it's never been the Berenstain Bears. It's always been the Berenstain, like a smudge on your clothes, say a dark green one. Another example that's been popularized is Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. You all remember that song. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. It's not. It's not a wonderful day in the neighborhood. In fact, it's horrible because it's a wonderful day in this neighborhood, which is not how I remember it at all. Or Snow White. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest one? Nope, it's not. Magic mirror on the wall. Another thing people remember is that at some point the United States was going to remove the 51st star from its flag. Now, of course, we've never had a 51st star, and I'm assuming if this was to happen, it would be Puerto Rico, but that's never been the case. So why do people remember it? All these things seem odd, surprising to some, but nothing major, nothing of severe consequence. You know, most of them anyway. People can argue over the spelling of Febreze, but it's still not going to convince me that anyone went back in time to change it. Now, what if there are ripple effects of a larger change? Or maybe they somehow play a role in a larger event down the line. You never really know. If it's not particle accelerators or the folks at CERN and some giant conspiracy a la Steins Gate, then what's going on? Could it be some sort of temporal interference, some sort of time traveler along the lines of John Titor, who I believe surfaced somewhere around 2000 and claimed to be from 2036, coming back to prevent a nuclear war? Something similar to this is Ray Bradbury's story, The Sound of Thunder. I remember reading this as a child, and a man goes back in time to kill a T-Rex. He secures the use of a time machine through a company to kill a dinosaur that is already fated to die at that same moment, so he won't disturb the timeline. In the process of doing this, he kills a butterfly. Doesn't seem like much, doesn't seem like an event that would have any consequence at all. No one's going to miss one single butterfly. But it turns out to have dire effects on his own timeline when he returns. So if all these things are happening, if it's more than just chance inconsistency, poor memory, and overactive imaginations running wild on the internet, then what's causing it? What could possibly create a change like this or be affecting things this deeply? Well, theories range anywhere from particle accelerator experiments. I mean, there are more than 30,000 particle accelerators on Earth today. And that's a lot of particle accelerators. Like, picture 30,000 pennies, but particle accelerators. And that's impressive. I'm kind of proud of this. Kind of worried, but kind of proud of this. Please don't make a black hole. Now, to be fair, not all of these are anywhere near as powerful as the Large Hadron Collider. Many of them aren't. They're just a very, very small fraction. I think it's like 1% rises to that level of power, which is still a decent margin, but nowhere near enough to do anything like this, you wouldn't think. I mean, Stephen Hawking did say that particle accelerators are the closest thing we have to a workable time machine, in a certain sense. So what do you guys think? Are you one of the kids that remember it as the Berenstain Bears or the Berenstain Bears? Or do you even care? Does it even mean anything? Is it all overactive imaginations? Or is it actually hints of something far greater happening? Well, we may never really know, but it's fun to think about. And that's the reason behind this channel, as I've always believed you should always keep an open mind. So I'd love to hear your guys' opinions. Let me know in the comments. Until next time, I'll catch you later.